Some people have very strong feelings about the height of their future romantic partner. I would know. I used to be one of them. Granted, I am a straight cis woman who's only ever dated straight cis men, so this episode will naturally speak to that. I'm aware that my experience with height might differ from yours, so feel free to sound off in the comments and share how height has affected your dating life. I'm curious to hear. Go ahead and subscribe. Leave us a review while you're at it. But for now, here's my hot take. Hi, I'm Kelly Shanley, and this is For Love or Peanut Butter, a true life dating podcast in which a seemingly eligible yet perpetually single woman, that's me, finally delves into the why and the how she has remained single into her mid-30s. And she changes her life forever. Height and dating. The case for short kings, aka tales from a reformed height snob. In high school, I had crushes on athletic boys who had kind smiles and funny personalities, and just so happened to be over 6 feet tall. I never did date any of these boys, though, thanks to my habit of perpetually friend-zoning myself due to my inability to keep my attention on one person for too long. The boy I dated through college and into my mid-20s was a 6'2" former high school football player. I fell for his personality as our friendship grew over the course of our freshman year. But come sophomore year, when we recognized our feelings for each other and physical affection entered the equation, I quickly got used to feeling tiny next to my big, tall linebacker boyfriend. And boy, did that feel nice. Was it enough to keep us together, though? 5 years later, was his above average height enough to ignore the fact that he still wasn't sure if he wanted to move in with me? Or that he would gaslight me anytime I brought up a feeling that wasn't positive?
I think you're overreacting.
Or that he bought a Hummer for his everyday car that made this tree hugger want to melt into the passenger seat in utter mortification anytime he picked me up? Nope. Him being 6'2" was nice, but it wasn't that nice. It did not outweigh those things. Eventually, we broke up. Did that change my approach to dating? Of course not.
They never learn.
Fast forward a couple years, I was deep into the world of dating apps, and my height preferences had only been reinforced after being baited and switched by a couple of vertically challenged suitors. I was promised Jason Momoa, but I got Seth Green.
Gosh golly gee williger zimmity jippity doo, Batman!
If you find this relatable, be sure to check out my previous episode, The Catfish Who Lured Me. So I got even stricter. I let the few ruin it for the many. I started paying even closer attention to photos, scanning for objects to lend scale like the height markers in a mugshot. Never mind the fact that most of the shorter guys had thoughtfully filled out their profiles, shared hobbies and unique photos, and offered a peek into their heart and soul in a preview of what life might be like dating them. Meanwhile, tall guys simply dropped their name, height, and an out-of-focus gym selfie on their profile and called it good. I'm tall. What else do you need to know? The messages I received from short guys clearly displayed more effort too. Opening with a compliment for me. Wow, you ski? That's so cool. I do too. And then inviting conversation with an open-ended question. What was it like growing up in Lake Tahoe? Rather than the apathetic, sup girl, I received from the tall ones that took them all of 3 seconds to eke out with their lanky fingers. No time for personalized messages when you've got an overflowing inbox on Tinder, Hinge, and Bumble.
Because I'm immensely popular.
You've got copy and pasting to do. And yet, I would read the personalized message from the short guy, feel the warmth wash over me as I read his thoughtfully curated profile and discovered how many commonalities we shared, then stop, frown, delete his message when I discovered he was only 5'4", and reply to the lazy tall guy's message instead with an equally lackluster, just chilling at home. You? Why? Why did I do that? How did I justify this for so long?
Don't be ridiculous, Andrea. Everybody wants this.
I had convinced myself not to date someone shorter than me because I didn't want to feel, quote unquote, bigger than my partner. I had some debilitating body image issues throughout my teens and 20s, so I do forgive myself for wanting a partner who didn't exacerbate them. But I put way too much weight on their being Shrek-sized, making me feel like the human Princess Fiona instead of the ogre I sometimes saw in the mirror. Eventually, I discovered that just because someone's tall doesn't mean he's going to make you feel good about yourself. Doesn't mean he's going to tell you that you're beautiful or look at you like he can't believe his luck that he gets to be with you, or pick you up and throw you around like the dainty little thing that you are. And yet, I have heard many of my heterosexual female friends cite this as a reason for wanting to date big, strong men. How many times have you actually had a partner throw you around? Enough times to base your entire dating selection process off it? Just saying. But height discrimination goes both ways. I once exchanged messages on Tinder with a cute, friendly parkour instructor. Yeah, I know, I did not know that that was a profession either. Parkour! We had both swiped right, and I have my height posted right there on my profile. So when I asked him if he wanted to meet up for drinks, I was a bit taken aback when he said, "Oh, no thanks. I don't actually date women who are over 5'5". But you look athletic, so you should come check out a parkour class sometime." I'm sorry, what? Parkour! Why wouldn't you just swipe left on me if you have such a stringent height policy? Are you just using Tinder to promote your parkour classes?
Busted.
Or perhaps did you like everything else about my profile? Like my smile, my body, the picture of me dancing like an idiot on top of a mountain, and completely miss the detail about me being 5'7"?
That's a huge bitch!
Were you so distracted looking at all the stuff that you liked, you didn't even notice the one thing you didn't like? Bro, that's a good thing. We have to stop letting one con outweigh multiple pros.
I do not have chubby ankles.
Let height be a preference, sure, but not a deal breaker. Do I feel loved, supported, and secure in my relationship? Is a much more important question to ask yourself than, but will he still be taller than me in heels? Or vice versa. My partner now is a first for me. He's shorter than me, and not just with heels. Not that I ever wear heels anyway. But even barefoot, I've got 3 inches on him.
You are so brave.
We met through a friend, by the way, not on a dating app. Otherwise, I would have completely missed out on him. Did I feel a little weird about being taller when we first started dating? Yes. Yes, I did. I was still a little insecure about whether or not other people would notice, and if so, what would they think? Did he care? Not one bit. He knows who he is. He told me to wear heels if I wanted to, or not if I didn't. That he didn't mind either way, but he just wanted me to wear what made me feel sexy. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Never before have I had a partner who is so focused on how I feel rather than what other people might think about us.
You know, that is so refreshing.
Other unexpected perks of dating my short king? 1, I get to rest my arms on his shoulders when we hug and nuzzle into his ear, and he can rest his hands on my booty and play them like bongos.
Wait, bitch, I'm hot.
2, I don't have to crane my neck up and aggravate that spot on the right side that flares up sometimes for literally no reason, just to request a smooch.
1, please.
3, he might be shorter than me, but he's not skinnier than me, which means we can share clothes.
That is so fetch.
4, I get to feel useful and help him reach things on the top shelf in the kitchen. Plus, I can hide my premium snacks from him up there. 5, he learned martial arts for self-defense and is as hyper-vigilant as I am, which means when we're out for a walk together, I get to turn my brain off survival mode and just stare at the trees.
Whoa! Man!
6, he also developed one hell of a personality since he didn't have height to help him coast through life. He is the funniest, sweetest, most engaging person I've ever talked to.
Ugh, gross.
7, I have never felt more adored and appreciated in my life.
Ugh.
8, the sex. Nice. I'll just leave it at that.
Please do.
He also happens to check off every single box I had. Funny, kind, smart, driven, works remotely, loves to travel, outdoorsy, wants kids, wants to be married, loves spending time with my family, Plus, even more that I didn't know were lying unchecked in the back of my mind. Like, direct communicator, knows my love languages, cries when he's happy, cries when he's sad, calms my anxious nervous system with just a hug, laughs at my endless supply of cheesy puns, does a wicked Boston accent, much better than mine, that cracks me up. And he always matches my energy when I randomly start dancing, in public or in private.
Oh, that one's a keeper.
Actually, I misspoke. He checks off all but one box that I had. Height. But after hearing this list, without ever having met the man I'm talking about, if I took all of that and threw it away because he's shorter than me, wouldn't you think I was a little bit insane? Or at least committing an aggressive act of self-sabotage. So then why do it yourself? Why eliminate someone who could potentially check off 99 out of 100 of your boxes just because the one they miss is height? We all let the other boxes slide all the time. Red flags are just another word for unchecked boxes, and we love to ignore red flags for hot people, especially tall, hot people. I get it. It's biology. But biology is like that nagging aunt who guilt trips you for being single every time you see her. It just wants us to reproduce. It doesn't care if we're happy. So it's time to override our biological desire for height and pay attention to the entire package. Someone who makes us feel supported, loved, adored, appreciated, and secure. It doesn't mean they can't be tall. It just means they don't have to be. I'm Kelly Shanley, and this is For Love or Peanut Butter. For Love or Peanut Butter is created, written, and performed by me, Kelly Shanley. Produced and edited by Z. Rodriguez-Thomas for Mind Jam Media. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow the podcast and leave us a glowing review. If you can't wait to hear the next one, check out the column of the same name on Medium, link in show notes. And be sure to follow me on social media. On Instagram and TikTok, you can find me at Kelly A. Shanley. On YouTube, Facebook, and Medium, at Kelly Shanley. Thanks so much for listening, and stay crunchy out there. Or smooth. Pinoy.
Don't waste your time on me. I'm already the voice inside my head. Pinoy.